Hi, I'm Davis.
And I'm Andy.
And welcome to another episode of Game Grazers Discuss. How you doing, Andy?
I'm doing great. How about you, Davis?
Good, that's a sweet shirt you're wearing.
Hey, I was about to compliment you on your shirt.
Yeah. Maybe we'll talk about this after we've discussed some discussions.
Maybe. Shameless plugging, yes.
Shameless plugging, yes, indeed. So today's question comes from our never a fair weather fan, Digital Drew.
Aw.
Always there for us.
Yes.
And he asks, if you could reboot any game series, what would it be? And if you could stop the production of any series, what would it be? That's a fantastic question.
Wow, that is so ripe. At least there's things that we can say don't need rebooting, and that is Mega Man, because that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And Metal Gear Solid, because that's not going to happen.
As much as I would love them to be rebooted. Also, we're sorry about the orange tint in this video. We're not sure our camera's being funky.
Well, we could always say we're paying homage to one of the major party candidates for this year's election in the United States.
Our discussions are the best. Our discussions are quality.
We are the best at discussing discussins.
Yep. Anyway, so back on topic.
Sorry. Okay, so I'm gonna throw this one out there. What I would love to see rebooted. A new iteration just got released, and that is Star Ocean. I know Tri-Ice has it in them to make an amazing Japanese RPG, and they have not been doing it. And I would love it. So Star Ocean: The Second Story is still one of my favorite JRPGs of all time, and that's like a high mark. But I think Tri-Ice could do it again, maybe.
Maybe.
How about you, Davis?
Sort of on the topic of JRPGs. And I know they've got a game coming out, and I hope it's something phenomenal, but I want a reboot of like traditional Final Fantasy. I want Final Fantasy to actually go back to back to fantasy, I want to go back to the heyday. I want to go back to the 8-bit, the 16-bit eras, and maybe Final Fantasy 9. I mean, because 14 did standard fantasy so well with some of the Magitech infusion, but it was mostly fantasy.
Yeah, they've really lost their way. It's kind of sad.
It is. And actually kind of on the topic of Square Enix, here's a series I want to reboot of. The Chrono series.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, few games have done time travel the way Chrono Trigger did.
Yeah, and actually Chrono Cross is pretty good too.
Yeah, so I have not played that. I think I did a demo once upon a time, but I've not played that game.
That game doesn't deal so much with time travel as it does with like the effects of time travel and parallel universes and existences and things like that. It's trippy, like even more trippy than Chrono Trigger was.
Yeah.
And maybe less of a reboot and more of get your asses back to work. Beyond Good and Evil.
Stop teasing us with little bites of stuff.
Yeah. Let's see. What else do I think? I would say Zelda needs a reboot, but it looks like their reboot is coming.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And I think that's kind of another question on top of itself is like, what do you consider a reboot? I think like when I hear reboot, you can have an ongoing franchise, and you need to bring it back to basics. What do you need? You need to start it over and fresh again.
Well, I mean, Final Fantasy, the early ones were like that, right?
Yeah.
They kind of rebooted every one.
Exactly.
I felt like.
Yeah. And then, of course, there's like the long dead franchises that you're like, yes, please come back. I would love a Mega Man reboot. I didn't get it. I paid $40 to try and get it.
Wasn't quite worth it, was it?
Wasn't quite worth it.
Mirror's Edge just recently got a reboot that I'm playing it now, and I'm actually really enjoying it. I'm not sure why they heap the hate on that. Let's talk about series that just need to end.
Call of Duty. Call of Duty.
Wait,
Call of Duty.
Did I hear the voices of 1 million Call of Duty players scream out? I think I did, Davis.
I think just in general, there's nothing against Call of Duty specifically, and there are other franchises that I have not vested interest in, but I like Assassin's Creed. Dear any company, please, unless you are Madden or any other sports game, you do not need an annual release. Stop it.
You know what I want to see end? Resident Evil.
Yeah, I feel like they've had their go, and they've tried to reinvent themselves so many times, and they've been successful in reinventing like maybe once or twice.
Yeah, and it needs to be over.
I mean, I don't have any vested interest in that franchise, but I kind of feel that's one that's kind of overstayed its welcome a little too much.
But they can keep making Mila Jovovich Resident Evil movies all they want, because I love that shit. But the game's got to end. And I'm not saying, I don't even think it could really, just a reboot isn't enough for that. They just need to put it out of its misery, move on, find something else. That's what I think. How about for you? Just any series that just need to be taken out back and shot besides Call of Duty and Resident Evil?
That's a good question.
I mean, I feel like there's more out there, but they're just not coming to me, because that really is, that's kind of like, I mean, we're talking about capital punishment of a video game series.
Yeah,
it's pretty extreme.
It is pretty extreme, and like I said, it's something against Call of Duty specifically. I think it's just more the yearly franchise, and I have to, like, and when I watch E3, I'm like, I know it's coming, and that's about a 15-20 minute chunk. I'm just like, boo.
You kind of space out on.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of like other franchises that maybe I had love or vested interest in, and I just like I just can't do it anymore. But it's hard to say. I don't really think like any major game franchise, that's hard to say sometimes, like has committed some sort of cardinal sin where I'm like, nope, that's it. Fuck you guys, you're done.
Wow.
But I think there are probably some out there that I think you can debate whether it needs a reboot or it just needs to be taken out back and hit with a shovel, like Street Fighter.
Yeah, so I guess in general, I'm frustrated in sort of the competitive fighter model now, which is kind of like they put out a base game and then they keep iterating characters and they put out more characters, and so Street Fighter, I think they've run their course. There's plenty of fighters out there that could step up and replace Street Fighter.
I think I'm about to piss off a lot of people, but I think I know a franchise that definitely needs to be taken out with a shovel.
What?
Sonic.
Oh, ouch.
It's nothing against Sonic. Nothing specifically against Sonic or Sonic games, but I have been watching that franchise languish since the Genesis.
Yes.
And they've maybe had one, maybe two games out of like 15 games be anything worthwhile.
Yeah, Sega's been riding that dead horse for a while, and it's getting pretty stanky.
Yeah.
It's a blue spiky-haired dead horse.
Ooh, reboot Phantasy Star. Like Phantasy Star Online.
Oh, man, Phantasy Star. Yeah, well, I'm a big fan of the early games. I didn't play online at all, so I can't.
I loved online.
Yeah.
I think online was my first sort of like real-time MMO-ish.
Yeah, it wasn't quite. It was like a hybrid. It was getting there, but it wasn't.
Yeah, it's like you're like, why are we grinding this? Why is this doing this? It's like this is terrible. It's stupid. Okay, fine, we'll stop. No, we're not stopping. We're almost level 26. What? Level 26. Gotta keep going, man.
I'd be totally on board with a Phantasy Star reboot of any kind. I don't care, because that is actually next to the Star Ocean series. Phantasy Star is near and dear to my heart.
Yeah, I mean, I think there are definitely quite a few franchises you're just like, stop.
Yeah,
or slow down at least. Assassin's Creed. Slow down.
Don't worry, Vivendi is gonna change things up there. No, I'm just saying. I'm throwing that one out there. Sorry.
I don't think this franchise needs to be taken out back and smote. But I think that the rolling train that is World of Warcraft kind of needs to finally come to an end.
Yeah, it's so funny though, because they keep trying. They keep trying to bring up more MMOs, and they're like, this is a World of Warcraft killer, and it's not. It's like,
no, I don't think anything's ever going to kill World of Warcraft other than World of Warcraft.
Yeah, that's true.
It's only going to kill itself.
It'll be its own worst enemy someday.
Anyway, we would love to hear your thoughts on this particular topic. What franchises do you want to see rebooted? What do you want restored back to its original glory and luster? And which are you just like, no, I'm done with you. Let me go out back and hit you with a shovel. That is my metaphor for today.
That's a theme.
So, and also if you have questions, you can send them in to our lovely website at gamegrazers.com/discuss. Somewhere down here. Oh, right. So, if you like us here on Game Grazers, normally we don't try to do these spiels, but, you know, like our videos, share them, comment, that kind of thing. It really helps us out. But if you want to help us out a little more, you can go to our Redbubble store and buy this sweet Game Grazers merchandise.
I'm trying to talk Davis into do some Game Grazer thongs, but he hasn't bit yet.
I don't think Redbubble does thongs. You can get stickers?
I could produce my own thongs for Game Grazers and have it a distinct brown spot on part of the thong.
I hate you so much. So much.
Okay, I'm sorry. Let's go back to merch.
Go back to merch. No, this is all the merch we have, but it's available. The logo is available on a multitude of things: shirts, dresses, tank tops, stickers, mouse pads, whatever the heck whatever is within your reasonable price, and we do get a little bit of money out of that. So we always appreciate any support you give to the channel.
Yes, we do. And thank you, Digital Drew, for the awesome questions.
Yes, thank you so much. And I felt like I was going to say something else, but I can't remember. So I'll just say thank you so much, Andy.
Thank you, Davis.
And thank all of you. I thank all of you guys out there. You guys are awesome.
I would ram my tongue down your throat if I could do it through the lens.
Shut the fuck up.
Do you want me to try?
No. Ciao.
Bye.